Hello, dear learners. I am Nitika Kannojia, Assistant Professor in the Department of English, and you are listening to 91.2 FM Hello Haldwani, Uttarakhand Open University Community Radio. As we all know, there have been many literary periods in the history of English literature, like Renaissance and Reformation, Neoclassical period, Romantic period, Victorian period, Modern period, and Postmodern period. All of these periods were characterized by different features. Like Renaissance and Reformation, they both placed emphasis on individual and humanism. Neoclassical period on order, accuracy, and structure. And today, we will learn particularly about Romantic period and its poet in English literature. So the question arises, why is it called Romantic period? Actually, the term romantic in the context of the Romantic period in English literature does not refer to romantic love as we commonly understand it today. Instead, it reflects a broader set of cultural, artistic, and intellectual attitudes that emerged in the late 18th century and prevailed throughout the 19th century. This period was characterized by a focus on emotion, imagination, and individualism. And now we think, when was this Romantic period in English literature? It is widely believed by scholars that it started around 1790s as a response to the Enlightenment values of reason and order, and also in the aftermath of French Revolution of 1789. So you might think now that why was this French Revolution so important for English literature? Actually, French Revolution had a huge impact on English literature. It inspired writers to talk about things like fairness and freedom. Poets like Wordsworth and Coleridge were so influenced by the revolution's ideas, expressing a new love for nature and human feelings. The revolution also influenced scary stories like famous Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Who has not heard about Frankenstein? And it reflected the worries people had in a rapidly changing world. In short, the French Revolution sparked a creative rebirth in English literature that lasted for a very long time. Romantic period became more influential when William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge collectively published Lyrical Ballads in 1798. Now, Lyrical Ballads revolutionized English literature, innovating in language and style. It embraced a simpler, natural expression diverging from the formal norms of the neoclassical era, its predecessor. The collection's focus on nature, emotion, and ordinary lives marked a shift towards individual experience and democratization of themes. Introducing the lyrical ballad form, the poets blended poetry with folk traditions. Wordsworth's preface articulated principles that emphasized spontaneity and the poet's connection to society. This influential work laid the foundation for a poetry that celebrated the profound and the everyday life, shaping romantic ideals. Major poets of the period were, of course, Wordsworth and Coleridge, but also William Blake, Lord Byron, P.B. Shelley, John Keats, Charlotte Smith, Joanna Baillie, Anna Barbauld, Mary Robinson, and many more. Some of the major works published during this time were Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Lyrical Ballads by William Wordsworth and S.T. Coleridge, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by S.T. Coleridge, Ode to a Nightingale by John Keats, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Today, we will talk about William Wordsworth from this period. William Wordsworth, who lived from 1770 to 1850, was a prominent English poet of the Romantic era. He is best known for his poems celebrating the beauty of nature and his role as a key figure in the Romantic literary movement. William Wordsworth, along with Coleridge, is often considered one of the founders of Romantic literary movement. His poetry emphasized the importance of emotion, individualism, and the beauty of nature, all of which became central themes of Romantic literature. The publication of Lyrical Ballads in 1798 marked a significant turning point in the Romantic era, This collection of poems challenged the established poetic norms and introduced a new, more natural and emotional style of writing. Wordsworth's poetry celebrated the natural world and its ability to inspire awe and transcendence. His emphasis on the sublime in nature, as seen in poems like Lines Composed a Few Miles Above Tintern Abbey, greatly influenced Romantic poets who sought to capture the power and beauty of natural world in their works. William Wordsworth believed in the power of the individual imagination and the importance of emotional expression in poetry. Wordsworth's ideas and poetic techniques left a lasting impact on later Romantic poets, such as Keats, Shelley, and Lord Byron. His emphasis on simplicity, the use of everyday language, and the expression of personal experiences continued to resonate with subsequent generations of writers, contributing to the enduring legacy of Romanticism in literature. We now have the poem The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth. This composition, crafted in November of 1805 and later published in 1807, possesses a unique lyrical beauty. It vividly captures the simple yet profound beauty of a young woman working in the fields. The poet describes her as she sings a melancholic song while reaping crops alone in the Scottish highlands. Her voice is compared to that of a nightingale, and its sweet, sorrowful melody echoes through the landscape. Wordsworth emphasizes the universal nature of the scene, suggesting that anyone who hears her song will be deeply moved. The poet reflects on the power of the girl's song, which seems to connect with the natural surroundings and carry the weight of the region's history and culture. The poem explores the transient and fleeting nature of life, highlighting how the girl's song will be remembered even after she is gone. Wordsworth's evocative language and keen observation of the ordinary moments in life make the Solitary Reaper a poignant celebration of the beauty found in everyday experiences and the enduring impact of simple, heartfelt expressions. Wordsworth employs a stanza with 8 lines, consisting of a 4 line section and 2 pair of lines with 8 syllables each. The fourth line in each stanza has just 3 metrical feet. This stanzaic structure is an elaboration of the ballad stanza. The theme of Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth can be summarized in 3 key points. First, the feeling of solitude. As we know, the name gives it away. Solitary means alone, lonely, and reaper who harvests the crop. So the girl is harvesting the crop all alone in the field. And same, the poem highlights the solitude of the reaper in a remote, rural setting. Her isolation serves as a central theme, emphasizing the idea that in the calm countryside, her solitary labor and song carry a profound sense of loneliness. The second theme is the transcendence of music and emotion. The poem underscores the transformative power of music and human emotion. The Reaper's song, though not understandable by the narrator, transcends language and culture, touching the universal human heart with its melancholic beauty. The third theme can be memory and nostalgia. The poem hints at the possibility that the Reaper's song is rooted in the memories of old, unhappy, far off things and battles long ago. This theme of memory and nostalgia suggests that the past holds a deep significance for individuals, and the Reaper's song may serve as a connection to the collective memory of her community or culture. There are literary devices used by the poet in the poem. The first one is imagery. So, what is imagery? Imagery is a description that appeals the reader to create an image or idea in their head. So, Wordsworth paints a clear picture of the solitary reaper in the field. As I quote, "Alone she cuts and binds the grain, and her melancholy strain. The reader can almost see and hear the reaper and her song, which creates a strong emotional connection with the poem's themes of solitude and the power of music." Another literary device used here is refrain. The poem's use of refrain and the repeated question, as I quote, "Will no one tell me what she sings?" at the end of stanza serves as a powerful structural device. This repetition emphasizes the narrator's intense curiosity and desire to understand the meaning of the reaper's song, highlighting the central theme of the poem, the universality of human emotions and potential for a simple, unfamiliar experience to resonate deeply with the observer. These literary devices contribute to poem's emotional resonance and its exploration of the profound impact of a solitary, seemingly mundane moment on the human heart and imagination. And now we have another poem by William Wordsworth, "The World is Too Much with Us." Before discussing this poem, I would like to recite the lines. The world is too much with us. Late and soon, getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. This sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours, and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not. Great God, I'd rather be a pagan, suckled in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on this pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn. The world is too much with us is a sonnet that laments the materialistic and disappointed feeling about humanity in the face of nature. Through this poem, Wordsworth expresses his concern for the loss of a deep connection with the natural world and the prevalence of materialism in the society of his time. This poem talks about two main themes. First, nature and materialism. We can see the contrast between two. It says that people are too busy with things like money and possessions, and because of this, they have become distant from nature. Wordsworth is sad about this separation, thinking that people should pay more attention to the beauty of natural world. Second, spiritual and moral bankruptcy. The poem discusses how our focus on material things has made us spiritually and morally poor. The constant chase for more stuff has left us feeling empty inside and has led to a decline in our moral values. Wordsworth wishes for a time when people were more connected to nature and lived a simpler, more spiritually fulfilling life. In simple terms, the poem is a reminder to not get too caught up in wanting more things and to appreciate the beauty of nature. It suggests that focusing too much on material stuff can make us spiritually and morally poor, and we should try to find a balance between our modern lives and the natural world. Now we have some of the literary devices used in the poem. The poem is written in the sonnet form. The poem follows the traditional Petrarchan sonnet structure consisting of an octave and a sestate. The octave presents the problem and the sestate suggests a solution or reflection. This form enhances the poem's emotional impact on the readers. Another literary device can be imagery. Wordsworth uses vivid imagery to depict the power and beauty of nature. Phrases like, as I quote, "sea that bears her bosom to the moon" and "Proteus rising from the sea" create a strong visual and sensory experience, contrasting the natural world with the material one. Another literary device can be allusion. The poem alludes to a classical mythology with references to Proteus and Nereus, emphasizing the ancient and timeless quality of nature in contrast to the transitory nature of materialism. The world is too much with us remains relevant in the contemporary world. It serves as a reminder of the importance of rekindling our connection with nature, especially in an age marked by environmental degradation and a relentless focus on consumerism. Thank you.